Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Diana and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by and clicking on this video. This is going to be just an update kind of chit chat video. I'm going to try to condense it into like 15 minutes. Just sort of what's been going on with me, why I haven't really been on YouTube. Not that there's some groundbreaking reason or anything, but there's a multitude of things that took me away from having the interest, motivation to continue doing YouTube. One being that I had a real job that was just taking up way too much of my time when I was on YouTube, and just the two of those things was just impossible to keep up with. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Diana, and I did start this channel primarily to save money and to learn how to coupon. And then after a couple of years, I would do coupon reviews and things like that, deals for the week for, you know, like CVS and Walgreens and ShopRite and all the rebate apps and all that stuff. And then after a couple of years, it just got so old. It got so old. I got so overwhelmed. No matter how much I donated, I just had so much stuff, you know? And so I just like sort of took a break. And there was a lot of things going on in my life at that time as well. Things started to kind of change, and things started to occur, and I just didn't have the same, I wasn't in a good mental space, so I didn't have the same motivation and the same interest anymore. And I tend to lose my like mojo, or I'm truly a creative person. Number one, my first passion is writing. Did I ever really think that I would do it for a profession? No, I never really thought, like in high school, that that I would go to college and do anything like that. I didn't think that I was that good. I was not necessarily someone who was maybe into like journalism or anything. I did a lot of creative writing, or I was fascinated by true crime and hauntings and the paranormal and things like that. And really, where was I going to find a niche to fit in to make a sustainable income, you know? So I never really did anything with it. Hair and nails and going to beauty school was the thing at the time, and that's what I did. And even then I went back to school again, and in the health field, and that's more my niche. However, my hobbies are important to me because they keep me in a good mental space. And over the past few months, I've had some significant things happen to me. And it's kind of put a lot of strain on my mental health. I'm not as happy as I used to be. I have very, very minimal interest in things, and if you don't have interest in things, then it's hard to you know, like if you're someone who's a crafter, or even if it's just paper crafting. I like to junk journal, which is mostly paper crafting, but I really started with like DIYs where, you know, I would make something, build something out of wood or whatever the case may be. And I really just stopped doing any of that. And then junk journaling became something that I really got into. And then I would go in and out of that as well. And if you're just not in a good mental space, it's really hard to just pick up all your stuff and sit down at your table and just create. You just can't do it, at least for me. So no matter how many YouTube videos I watch for inspiration, it's not that I don't have things to do or can't come up with ideas. I just don't have the want to sit there and, you know, cut something and ink something and glue something and nail something. I just don't have the interest. And I know that's due to my anxiety, which has increased incredibly the last 6 months. And so I knew that I need to start working with a doctor, because clearly I used to be able to pull myself out of like ruts, right? But this past 6 months and this specific event that took place, that kind of was a chain of events for a short period of time, really did a number on my overall health, because everything that affects up here affects to your toes, like everything. I lost weight, my eating patterns have changed, my sleep patterns have changed, on top of I'm someone who suffers from PMDD, and I suffer from a severe case, which generally starts anywhere from 10 to 12 days prior to my premenstrual cycle. So that is, to some, when it's a moderate to severe case, it's debilitating. Some people have to call out of work for that. They save their personal and sick time so they have those days that they can actually take off of work, because it's your moods, your hormones, back pain, depression. It's a lot mental. It's really a lot mental, and then there'll be a switch where it'll affect both, and you'll start feeling like cold sweats, and the inability to sleep is unreal. It's just a lot. It's a lot. If you look it up, I might even post like, you know, the proper definition. I did a lot of research on it, because you can't always Google and get the correct answer. I will post it on the screen at some point here. So people don't realize that that significantly can affect a woman's day-to-day routine while she's going through that. And then there are months that aren't so bad. I might get lucky and get a month that I feel a little maybe like uncomfortable. I might get a little cold sweat, a little bit of cramping. My legs and muscles will hurt for a few days, tenderness in my chest, and then, you know, I will get my cycle and things will start to level out. And then there are months where I go through it for like the full 10 to 12 days, and I'm like, oh my God, can I just get my period? Can I just get my period? So it's a lot, you know. And it's not something that you can just, you know, just shake off, you know what I mean? There is medication for it. However, I don't really want to be on antidepressants for part of the month and then not take them and take them and not take them and take them. And that's, to my understanding, the way the doctor wanted to do it with me. And I'm really trying to just see if I can tough it out. You know, it was different than it was 10 years ago. You know, your body changes like every 7 years. So it could very well be that it's just getting a little worse because, you know, I'm getting older, you know. And I really don't want to tie myself to any of those medications and be taking myself off of them and then putting myself on them. That can't be good for the chemical balance in your brain. So I'm not really trying to mess with any of that if I don't have to. And right now I am currently in my PMDD phase. Last week I was just about like lead up. Melatonin wasn't working. I actually had to take a sleeping pill like 3 days out of the week, and even that didn't keep me asleep throughout the night. I was waking up. I have headphones in. I listen to ASMR. Sometimes if I have to, I'll wear a sleep mask so no light can bother me. But I find myself, I'll wake up at the slightest noise, pit in my stomach. I go to bed with a pit in my stomach. I wake up with a pit in my stomach. It's getting to be unbearable. So it's not only just the PMDD. I do suffer from anxiety all my life. I've had an exercise from a doctor to think back as far as I could remember and in what stages of my life. And I'm like, wow, it's probably been since around the age of 5 or 6, when I moved with my mother and my biological father. May he rest in peace. It's probably been around that age where the anxiety would set in, because I heard all of the arguing, and I heard all of the problems they were having. And, you know, you always got to watch when, if you have children and there's financial issues, don't let them hear it, because they start to feel like a burden. I remember I would take a shower and I would be very conscious of how much shampoo I was using, how much soap I was using, because I would hear them argue about money. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget being in the shower and picking up this bottle and thinking of that. And that should never be something a kid has to worry about, right? Not that my parents did it on purpose. They're in the thick of it at the moment, and they're just arguing with each other, not realizing that we're in a small home as it was, and I could hear everything. But it is something that kids definitely absorb, and they hear it all, and they see it all. And my father was always very, easy to get angry, and he wasn't high-strung, not by any means, but you could tick him off easy. He had his way and his way only, and it was like walking on eggshells at times, and that would give me anxiety. And then as I got a little older and they split, that caused me anxiety. And then I was basically home alone during my high school years, and you know, my mom was always working. She had a new guy, and we didn't really jive. He didn't have kids, so he didn't get it. And I was kind of on my own, you know. I was a latchkey kid. I came home, nobody was home. I made a can of soup or, you know, a sandwich, whatever, if I ate. And as soon as I could, I was out with a boyfriend or out with friends to keep myself busy, because my mind was always going. And I always wanted to just either be with my boyfriend, and I didn't really like to be in crowds. I didn't like to have attention on me. I didn't like to be noticed. I was very mindful of what I wore. I didn't want to stand out too much, you know, because there was always a problem with a girl and whose boyfriend was looking at who, and, you know, typical stuff in high school. But it did affect me. So I wanted to kind of like stay in my own little cut where nobody could bother me or anything. And, you know, then in my 20s and 30s, I became my own woman, and I've been a boisterous type person. I'm a boisterous person. I'm not afraid to show you I'm angry. I'm not afraid to, when I've had enough, let you know I've had enough. And sometimes I do it in the wrong way, and I say things that I shouldn't say. So I wouldn't say that it kept me a timid person. If anything, I think the anger built up, and then I was more of a loudmouth and a fighter type person, and more of an aggressor and aggressive type person. I was always on the defense, and it caused me trouble in school. And you know, I mean, I'm not the only kid that had those problems. But I do notice that the anxiety has just increased, and now they sort of have turned into panic attacks over the last year. I feel it in my neck, like these weird palpitations from like my heart to my neck, and my breathing. The other day I was like a little bit on the shaky side, and I'm like dropping my deodorant can, and I dropped something else, and I had dropped something in the kitchen, and I'm like, then I was getting frustrated with myself. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? I actually stood to see if my hands were shaking, because I'm like dropping everything. What's going on? And it was getting on my nerves. It was bothering me. So tomorrow I will meet with a psychiatrist, and we will see, you know, if there's something that could calm me down a little bit, because I need to focus. I would, you know, I went to school all on my own. I did an extensive program that is not easy for my state. I can work in other states, but it's for my state, in the mental health field, and I would like to do it. If not do that, I would like to work maybe for the schools, because it's a good job and I could do it anywhere in the state. My significant other has gotten a great opportunity at another company, and it could really make this could mean a huge change for us, like our own home, and a family. It could mean good things for us, all things considered, with this country and this economy and this political situation. It could mean a lot of good changes, but I have to be able to be in a good space, and you know, I have to be able to walk alongside my partner. I never want anybody to carry me along. I did that. I wasted quite a few years, almost a decade, trying to help someone who had, you know, mental health issues, and they were so resistant to help that I just got tired and just had to be like, okay, it's not gonna happen. You know, this person either doesn't recognize it or recognizes it and is so deep into it, they don't know how to get out of it. They're not taking the medications, they're taking the medications. The medications aren't working, they're not waiting for them to work. It was just like trial and error. And I had my own stuff at the time, and it was a lot of time wasted. I learned a lot, but it was wasted time where I should have been like, look, you figure it out, and if things get better for you, let me know. But I didn't, and it didn't, and so here I am. And now I have a very stable man who is nothing like anybody, nothing like anyone I've ever been around. He's very quick on his feet. He's witty. He's able to problem solve. He's very intelligent and super hardworking. And so these are things that I have never been around. My father was not like that. None of the other boyfriends I've had were like that. And I've never even really been as on point as he has. But he said, when I met you, there was a lot of different things that that he pointed out about my personality that attracted, him to me. And that he says, if you were in the place, if you were back to the girl that I met, we would be a serious, formidable couple. We would really do some damage. And, when he said that, I was like, wow, I felt bad because I feel like I let him down. And, but I do know I can't dwell on it because I can't change it. It is what it is. And I have to move on from today. That's all I can do. So if there's any of you that are out there kind of feeling this way, where you just want to ramble and get things out of your head or chest, get a journal or type it on your phone, whatever, speak it on the speaker on your phone, get it out of you, whatever it may be. That's the best thing to do. That's exactly what I do. I have a blog. There's things about my past experience in the last 6 months that have led me to some of these feelings that I have right now. It's all on my blog. And I put that blog for me and for people that might be in those situations and don't know how to navigate through it, or feel like they're alone. So I would suggest reading some of those recent posts. The link will be below. It's free. You can just go over there and you can sign up with your email if you want to get future email notifications. You don't get any other emails except for when I post. And that's really it. So my creative side is taking a hit. My anxiety is at a 12. My sleep is like horrible, and my day-to-day is just not where I would like it to be. And tomorrow will be my chance at starting to make a change in the right direction. So I kind of wanted to get on here and, just put a little bit out of how I'm feeling. I know it probably sounded a little bit all over, but that's how sometimes people can get when their head is so bogged with so much stuff. It's like a spinning wheel. Your mind's just going and going, and you don't even know where to start. So you have to take the initiative, make the phone call, find somebody that you can either afford to pay or that takes your insurance, and you need to go. What's the worst that can happen? You get there and you walk out and you try it again. There's nothing they can do to you. So I highly suggest writing. Even if you throw it away, shred it, burn it, whatever. Get it out of you. That is huge. So go over to my blog and see what I've been dealing with, and that is a good way to get out of your head for a little while, just by being in someone else's. So hopefully just the time in this video helped someone. And I'll be on here periodically with, you know, some updates and, you know, what's going on. If anyone has any questions and ideas about something to do with this type of topic, like mental health and you know, my daily life and things like that, comment them below. And hit the like button, subscribe if you are not, so you know when I post a video. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to me babble. And I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Take care, everyone. Bye.